with, this is a ridiculously small diagram to mark all of those forces on. So I'm going to use a larger diagram, and I would recommend you do the same. A uniform rod, AB, has mass M, so that means that its weight force is acting at the centre of the ladder, vertically downwards, and length 2A. So if the length is 2A, then here to here is A, and here to here is A. The end A is in contact with rough horizontal ground, so that means that there will be friction. If there was no friction, the ladder would be slipping down and like that, so friction must be acting in the opposite direction, this way. There's also a perpendicular reaction force, a normal reaction, and I'll call that R of A. The end B is in contact with a smooth vertical wall, so there's no friction at the wall, but there will be a normal reaction at B. The rod rests in equilibrium in a vertical plane perpendicular to the wall and makes an angle of 30 with the wall, as shown in figure 6. The coefficient of friction between the rod and the ground is mu. Find in terms of M and G the magnitude of the force exerted on the rod by the wall, so that's RB. So in order to do that, I have at the moment 4 unknowns, and so if I take moments about here, these two will magically disappear because their distances will be 0. So that sounds like a really good plan to me. About A. So now I need to find the components that are perpendicular to the ladder. So I need to resolve this one, only its perpendicular component, because I won't be using the parallel one, and this one here, so I'm drawing 2 lines perpendicular to the ladder. Now I need some angles. This is 30, so this is 30. These add to 90, so this is 60. So mg cos 60 for the adjacent force. And here that's 30. These add up to 90, so that's 60. These add up to 90, so that one's 30. So this is RB cos 30. So now I've got those marked and I can take moments, and there are only 2 forces, one going anti-clockwise and one going clockwise, and the ladder's in equilibrium, so they will equal each other. So RB is here multiplied by 2A, so force times distance. 2A RB cos 30 is equal to A times mg cos 60. A mg cos 60. So I can cancel out the a's because both sides are multiplied by a. RB, and I'm going to divide both sides by this, so mg cos 60 is divided by 2 cos 30. And when I put that into the calculator, I get root 3 over 6 mg as required. The next part is to show that mu is greater than or equal to root 3 over 6. Now, we haven't read anything in the question about the ladder being on the point of slipping. It's in equilibrium, so if it's not on the point of slipping, then we can't assume that friction is limiting and F equals mu r. F could be less than or equal to mu r. So I need an equation with mu on its own, so I'm going to write this. The greater end of the arrow is towards the mu, so dividing both sides by r, I have this equation. So now I just need to find friction and reaction here, so this reaction and this friction. So first of all, I'm going to resolve vertically, because I could take moments, but I've noticed that there's a vertical force here and another vertical force here. They're the only vertical forces, so they must balance. So RA equals mg. And as well, horizontally, there are only two forces, friction and RB. So friction is equal to RB, and we know that already, that's root 3 over 6 mg. So that means mu must be greater than or equal to root 3 over 6 mg divided by reaction mg. So mu must be equal to root 3 over 6. Okay, so for part C, a particle of mass km is now attached to the rod at B. So I'm just going to move down a little, and I have redrawn that diagram so I can drag it down. So everything's marked on as before. Now I'm going to mark the mass km is attached to the rod at B, so it will have a weight force. Let's lock this in place. It will have a weight force of kmg going downwards. So because of this weight force going downwards and adding to the force going downwards, the reaction force upwards is increased. So this has changed. Because this has changed and it's related to friction, friction also changes. And because friction changes and it balances with RB, RB also changes. So these components are still valid. It's just that they'll have the RB and the RB will have a different value. The mg cos 60 value won't change because weight doesn't change. So to find the value of K, first of all, I'm going to resolve vertically, and that will give me the reaction at A. So what I really want to do in the end is to make a moments equation, and I'll need the component of this, but then for that I'll need RB. To find RB, I'll need to find FR. To find FR, I'll need to find RA. So I'm kind of working backwards there. So first of all, vertically, RA going upwards is equal to mg and kmg. So kmg plus mg. So that means it's equal to mg multiplied by k plus 1. So now I can find the friction force, so I can find RB by using F equals mu R. So friction equals, and I'm given a new value of mu in here, and I'm also told that it's in limiting equilibrium, so I know that F is equal to mu R, which enables me to use this as an equation instead of an inequality now. So mu times reaction, which is this, so mg k plus 1. So now I'm going to resolve horizontally to find reaction at B. So reaction at B going to the right is equal to friction going to the left because they're the only forces. So friction is root 3 over 5 mg multiplied by k plus 1. So now that I know this force here, if I take moments about A again, that means I've got a force that I know, and another a force that I know here, and another force that I know here. Now I don't know M, but that's fine because we're finding K, and we'll find out that we've got mg in every term when we get to it, and that's quite often the case. So about A. So first of all, I don't have the perpendicular component of kmg, so let me just resolve that. This is a right angle, that's 30, so this is 60, and it's going that way, so kmg cos 60. So now I have my three forces. Anti-clockwise I have these two, balanced with clockwise this one here. So about A, I have A multiplied by mg cos 60 plus 2A times kmg cos 60 equal to 2A times rb cos 30. So that's 2A and cos 30, and I'm going to put the RB in because I've found RB here. So root 3 over 5 mg multiplied by k plus 1. Now if you're in an exam, you might want to just put RB there because you get a mark for just putting the RB, whereas if you try to put the value in and it's not correct, then you could lose a mark. So looking at this equation, every term in the equation is not only multiplied by A, but also by mg. So I'm going to simplify by cancelling through those terms. A, mg, A, mg, A, mg. And that simplifies my equation down quite nicely. So also at this point, I'm going to find the exact values of these. Cos 60 is a half, plus 2 times cos 60, so that will be 2 times a half, which is 1, multiplied by k, equals 2 times cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 over 2, so that will just be root 3, multiplied by root 3, which is 3 over 5, and then k plus 1. So now I'm just going to multiply out and rearrange. Now 2/5 k equals 3/5 minus a half, which is 1/10. So k is equal to a quarter. Marks wise on this question, there's a method mark for taking moments about A. Now you might have got sine and cos confused, and you might have some incorrect values, but you must have a force multiplied by distance, so you must have both of those dimensions to get that mark. There's two accuracy marks and losing a mark for each error. So in this format, you could have rearranged it to this format. Then there's an accuracy mark for writing it in terms of mg, as you were asked to do in the question. For part B, there's an understanding mark for resolving vertically and horizontally. And then there's a method mark for writing these inequality with these values in. And there's an accuracy mark for simplifying to root 3 over 6, but obviously you need to have had the working to lead up to that. What you're not allowed here is to write an equal sign for f equals mu r and then fudge it to an inequality, because that shows that you're not understanding that f could be less than or equal to mu r. Okay, for part C, go down a bit further. There's an understanding mark for resolving vertically, which is here. So that's a B1. And then there's a method mark for using f equals mu r and resolving horizontally. Now you may have taken moments instead about other places on the ladder or at A, and that's absolutely fine as long as eventually you get down to here where you get an accuracy mark for moments about A. So regardless of if you've done taken a different route and you've got to this, then that's fine too, as long as you've showed your method correctly. So you get a accuracy mark for this in this unsimplified form. Then you'll get another accuracy mark without, so I'll put it here, but without the sign and the A. So you've cancelled out the A and you've put the exact values in. You can still have mg in at this stage and get that mark. There's a dependent method mark for solving an equation in K, dependent on getting these marks here. And then finally, an accuracy mark for K equals 1/4.